Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Midwest Buzz. I'm JC.
And I'm Olivia.
And we have a special guest with us today.
Yes, we do.
The specialist.
It's good to be back in the studio.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're the only guest that's been on twice
reoccurring,
now.
yeah.
So
The only reoccurring guest. And now this is their third time, right?
I was going to say, this is the third time, right?
Yeah.
We did one by ourselves, too.
we love him so much. He's back. Adam White, welcome to the recording
The easiest
studio.
one to get hold of.
He kind of lives in the
Yeah,
recording
yeah,
studio,
yelled
so
downstairs.
we can pull him in whenever.
He's our new tech guy. We just hired him. Having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, when am I going to get that check?
When we get our first check. We'll
Okay, fair enough.
We'll
fair
write you
enough.
in.
We will give you a cut of our
Fair
first check, Adam.
Yeah.
That was like, I had this little kid today at the studio. He was like, "Where's your bed at?" He thought that it was my home.
Oh.
And I was like, "No, this is just like my work. You know how like your mom goes to work at an office? Like this is my office." And he was just like, "Where's your table?" Like he just could not. He was like 3.
Just trying to
He just like
process
could
it.
not wrap his mind
He's like,
around
that's
it.
just not a good way to live.
Yeah. It's like, this does
like-
not look
You
comfortable.
live like a hobo. You have just a room. That's all you have.
Just a room with some newspapers on the floor right now. I have a Valentine's Day set up with newspapers, you guys.
It's very cute.
Yeah. But yes, Adam, we are excited to have you back on.
Yes. We are having Adam to talk all things health and fitness, as we usually do.
Yeah, because he's just the best at that.
Well,
Yeah.
that you guys know.
That we can get a hold of. That we can afford.
That's available. Yeah.
But no, a few weeks ago, Olivia and I had polled our listeners on Instagram and got some questions to ask Adam, and I sent them to you ahead of time, so
Yes.
he had time to properly research everything.
Yes.
If he didn't know it offhand, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Just to gather my thoughts.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So he wasn't, like,
Anytime Olivia and I like record, she will like, I'd say more than half the time you will like have the topic or questions or something, and I always go into it just like
winging it.
just no research.
with a hope and a prayer. Goes well. But if it's a topic that you're like, you came up with, you do all the research, you do it well.
No. Yes. Okay. Should we
on
start
into
with the listeners first, or because we have questions too, right?
Right.
I didn't send my questions to Adam.
We'll start
me
with
on
the
the spot.
listener
The
questions,
hot
and then
seat.
we can put you on the hot seat in the end.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sound
Love it.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do it. You do. first one.
Okay. So let me pull up my notes here.
JC brought me coffee, so I'm just gonna sip that.
Yes.
Little
Caribou.
ASMR.
ASMR Caribou edition. Okay, so one of the listeners said, "Is counting macros important?"
I mean, yeah, it depends on what your goals are. Obviously, if you're trying to build more muscle, which this is going to go into one of the other questions that I think the same person asked.
Okay.
You're going to need more protein if you're trying to build muscle. But yeah, just tracking macros, it at least gives you an idea of what you're eating.
Yeah.
There's a couple of good apps. MyFitnessPal is probably the most popular, but I use one called,
Yep, I got it.
oh gosh, what's it called?
It's called Chronometer.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I have it too.
Okay.
I see
It's like an
coming out.
apple with a target and an arrow in it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So,
I like that one too.
Can we
Yeah.
dumb it down? Can you explain like what
What
macro
macros?
counting is?
yeah, so macros are macronutrients.
Okay.
It's carbs, fats, proteins. Basic breakdown: fats per gram, 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. Carbs and proteins per gram are 4 calories.
Okay.
And obviously a little different. So carbs are going to be like your breads, rice. That's going to have a lot
Potatoes.
of potatoes, high carbs stuff.
Fruits and veggies.
Instant
usually.
energy type of stuff. Typically, you can have complex carbs, which give you energy. That's the main fuel source for your body.
Okay.
Assuming you're not on the keto diet or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Ketogenesis. Fat, obviously, everyone knows what fats are. That's like butters, oils,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's really high in calories, really adds up fast.
You want to do the healthy fats, coconut oil, avocado, right?
Yeah, stay away from the seed oils, which are like in everything. I know it's easier said than done, but they're in everything.
On wedding
it's
days,
unbelievable.
I'll try to we try to eat good, and it's like
Yeah.
Lay's potato chips, and it's
Yeah.
just filled
Yeah,
with
especially for JC,
Just-
she
yeah.
can't have gluten.
Yeah, exactly.
So like
So
on
it
wedding
needs to
days,
be
like they don't
harder
have
for
a
you.
lot.
right. Yeah.
Like sandwiches.
Yeah, which I mean, in moderation, they're not going to do much, but like I said, they're in everything, and it adds
Right.
up. They're just terrible for you. The amount of inflammation and other issues they've been linked to in recent years, just awful. And then protein, obviously, probably the best of the macronutrients. You need all three. But as far as, dieting goes, body composition, proteins can be your best bet.
Perfect.
But higher protein intake, which is harder for a lot of people to get.
Oh,
yeah,
I struggle with that so much.
I was going to say most women are deficient in protein. It's so hard. And you try to get it from all natural sources, but it's, like I said, so hard to eat
it's hard, and
that
it's more
much
expensive.
meat. And, or you have to get like a supplement or whatever.
I did have double protein at Qdoba today.
Nice. way to be.
You knew that was going to come up in this conversation.
I was like, I'm going to be on the side of high protein today. Yeah, you're right. So that was one of the other questions was how important is protein?
Protein, is one of the macronutrients, so it's essential to a healthy diet, particularly from natural sources is the best, obviously, with anything. But your meats, chicken, beef, pork, all those are going to be high in fat. But as far as it goes, though, of the macronutrients, each macronutrient has what's called a thermic effect, which essentially means the thermic effect is how much energy it takes to actually digest that macronutrient. So protein is actually harder for your body to digest. I think it's like 20 to 30% thermic effect. So say you're eating, a gram of protein, it's going to take 20 to 30% of that energy, those 4 calories that are in the gram, to digest it.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Eating protein.
Is that why you get the meat sweats?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's directly linked.
I don't get meat sweats. I feel like Cole gets he'll be like, oh, meat
Throwing
sweats.
Cole under the
And
bus.
then he'll be like, oh man, I'm so tired right now. Like it makes you sleepy if you eat like
So
a
much,
huge prime rib meal, right?
Yeah. And certain meats are going to do that more than others. But yeah, the thermic effect in that is huge. And then building muscle. So the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn just by existing, because muscle's harder to maintain than fat is. So your BMR, your basic metabolic rate, will be higher the more muscle you have in your system, or on your body. So like just being a bigger person too, obviously burns more calories.
Yeah, you're just
I'm going to burn more calories than Olivia is, just
right,
because I'm twice her size.
Right. Yeah.
Heart's pumping a little faster, working a little more.
Yeah.
I was going to say along the protein lines, I find that when I'm eating more protein, I see a lot better results in like the gym and stuff. Because you're not going to, you can work out as hard as you want, but if you're not eating right protein and stuff, you're not really going to see results.
Correct. Because if you're working out really hard in the gym and you're not eating protein, you're breaking that muscle down. You're causing those micro tears from, resistance training that's needed for muscle growth, but then you're not putting any of that muscle back because your body doesn't have the building blocks that it needs to build that muscle back. There's no protein. Right. Protein is made of amino acids that are essential for building muscle.
Yeah. So ladies, get your protein.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spinach has protein.
If you want better body composition, you want to lose weight, protein.
Yeah.
Really focus on the protein intake.
Beans have protein.
Everything is, you need all micronutrient or macronutrients. I'll say that again. Don't just eat protein.
Right.
That's not gonna work
Yes.
out well.
Obviously, a balanced diet is
balanced.
going to be key.
You got to find what
important.
works for you.
Okay, so then
Okay, so another person said, because I said either questions or topics, so she wanted us to talk on the topic of hitting a plateau.
Yeah, I mean, everyone runs into that if they're training, pretty consistently for a while. As far as hitting plateaus, if you're like in the gym and, you're not seeing results, maybe you're not, you're going through a workout. The thing is, your body is going to adapt to those workouts at some point.
Right.
And if you're not regularly increasing intensity or increasing duration, maybe volume of training, so more reps, more sets, stuff like that, your body is just going to adapt. And then once you hit that plateau of the training cycle you're on, you're just going to stay there. You got to find something to break through that. So if that's increasing duration of the workout, intensity of the workout, volume, or switching it up, maybe doing something else. Like I'm currently, I had gone through a phase where I was basically just trying to lift heavy weights as often as possible, just build strength. Now I'm playing church league basketball because I had hit a plateau and I kind of stagnated for a while. now I'm switching it up.
Yeah.
I'm finding other ways to make different progress.
Yeah.
Set different goals.
What would if you kind of switch? So you're talking about like gaining, like obviously muscle and stuff. What about like hitting plateaus in weight loss?
Yeah, same thing. So if you say you've lost a bunch of weight right at the start, which a lot of people do once they start losing weight.
Right.
You're gonna lose a lot of water weight, but your body is also responding to the stimuli that it hasn't experienced in a while, which is the exercise, increased activity levels. So it's going to respond to that, but eventually your body's really good at adapting to stimuli. So eventually that will become the norm. If you, like I said, if you don't have a progressive overload, is what the principle is called. If you're not progressively making things harder,
Adding more
you know,
weight.
adding more weight, adding more distance to your runs or your walks,
Yeah.
getting more steps in a day. Like if you get 10,000 steps in a day, that's great. But if you do that for a year straight, you've gotten 10,000 steps, it becomes easy for you to do.
Right, that's
Maybe
your norm,
bump it up
yeah.
to 15,000 if you can.
Yeah.
But
So I was telling Olivia the other day, I do hot yoga like twice a week or try to make it there. And I go to the hot hit classes. And so you have to grab weights. And I always just grab the 5-pound weights because overachiever. But lately I'm like, it's not hard anymore. And I was like, probably have
Time
to
to
go.
bump it
I
up.
know. I was like,
Time to bump it up.
gonna have to grab those 8-pounders.
that's a good thing though. You
I know.
Like, finally I get to
Yeah.
use the 8s.
No, so
Yeah.
maybe I won't be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm always exhausted when I leave because there's,
Yeah.
I think, the hot environment.
Yeah. Oh,
and
sure.
I can
like it's
imagine.
not just a relaxation yoga. It's like, you're
Yeah,
gonna
high
do curls
intensity.
with squats
Yeah.
and jumping jacks and
Yeah.
high knees and planks, and it's a good workout. But yeah, I've been enjoying that. I just like being warm too, so going in there feels so good in the winter. But okay, so then a few other questions we had. Oh yeah, there was a yoga question, so I'll do that one next. What do you think about yoga? Can it help with toning, or is it more for stretching?
I mean, yeah, I'm not, the expert on yoga. I'm no yogi.
You're not a yogi?
Believe it or not. As far as like the principles of yoga, I mean, like the meditation and stuff, I would steer clear of that stuff just because
Yeah.
it's got a lot of pagan traditions, and I think you should be filling your mind with Christ-like stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But as far as like the actual act of yoga and like stretching and toning, yeah, it can be great. And there's different levels. I mean, there's
Right.
the basic level, which is probably where I would need to start. A lot of balance, a lot
Yeah.
of holding positions, isometric stuff.
The balance is cool. Like
Yeah,
that can
that
be
would
really
definitely be
helpful.
core.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks.
yeah, when you watch some of those like people, those real good yogis and stuff like that, it's like there's things they can do and hold those
Yeah.
positions.
I
It's kind
know.
of crazy.
Yeah.
I was watching Island Hunters, and anyways, one lady was doing yoga on a paddleboard, and she
Oh,
was
yeah.
in her upper 50s probably.
and you
Good
think
for her.
about like, I don't know, you guys have paddleboarded.
yeah,
That takes
hard.
some stability.
Yeah, a lot of
so
core
to be
strength, a lot of
doing
balance.
yoga
Yeah.
on it,
No, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the core strength and stuff you have to have for some of those positions is just,
Yeah.
it's intense.
Yeah, so definitely
is.
can be good for
Yeah, toning
toning and stretching.
and stretching.
I want to start going like after I do like a workout with you guys.
Yeah.
I want to start doing one of the restorative classes at Hot Yoga in the Hot Room just for stretching.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm bad about that. I'll
I'm
do a
very bad
workout
at
and just
stretching.
like,
I used to
I'll
be
str-
so
you know.
good at it, but now it's like, okay, grab Grant, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave
Nap
the
time.
gym. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. Would you say that probably you're not going to get like big bulky, or like not bulky, girls don't get bulky muscles, but like you're not going to get crazy toned like if you were lifting weights from yoga though, probably, if that's what people are expecting.
Yeah, I mean, it really, yeah, you're
Depends
like,
on
you're
the body
not,
type.
Depends on your body type, I feel like a
And-
lot.
and the point of yoga isn't to build
Right.
muscular, size and strength.
But you'll slim down.
You'll build muscular endurance and be able to hold positions longer, hold your body there longer. So
Right.
you will tone up, and yeah, if your diet's on point, you're gonna you're gonna
You'll
look
see
good doing
results,
yoga.
Yeah. Obviously, with any working out, like diet is huge.
Yes.
Whether it's,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
huge, and I mean, personally, I think that's the hardest part. But
Oh, it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone said, I need a good ab workout for the girls.
you
So
can
ladies
contact
that
me at
Yeah.
I'll send you a
No,
program.
really?
No free
You-
workouts.
No. Yeah, I mean, I focus on core with all my clients, all my groups and stuff like that. We hit core just because it's such a big part of, especially with my athletes. They need to have really strong cores. These
Yeah.
younger athletes have neglected it forever. The same thing with, my older clients. They've got really weak cores over the years from maybe having a sedentary job. So you need to have a good core routine. But as far as like a set routine, I think if I just listed off a bunch of exercises and you did those every day, you'd get real bored with it. I mean, there's so many different avenues.
Yeah, it's probably
you
just
can
like
do.
keeping it fresh. Like anyone
I
can.
I would suggest, like with you guys, I make you do 2 or 3 core movements after every
What
workout.
are just say, let's do your top 5 favorite core moves to have clients do.
First off, I like to do it's called a bird dog.
Oh, yep.
So it's on your, I make everyone do it on their hands and toes if they can. Otherwise, it's on your hands and knees. Hands and toes is harder, but you essentially alternate an opposite arm and opposite leg, stretch straight out, try to hold that balance point for a second, and then switch sides. So you're shifting your center of gravity. You're having to hold that position. So it's working on balance and core stability.
Yeah. And it's a slow movement, but it's intense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of focus.
Yep. I make everyone do a plank as well. Just, classic. You're hitting the entire core, not just your abs, but you're hitting your back. I'm having to really hold that position, get a little shoulder pump in usually.
Yeah, your whole
Hold yourself
body.
up.
We did those this week.
Yeah.
We did 30-second holds, 3 rounds. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
my favorite is timed. Sorry. My favorite is timed anything because I don't have to count my reps and then I can talk.
Yeah.
I hate trying to I just want to talk the whole time I'm at the gym.
Yeah. JC a lot will go, count this for me. I want to tell you something.
Oh, I know. Yeah. My
Yeah.
clients, I've had to learn how to count and talk at the same time.
Yeah,
and hold
you're
a
so good
conversation.
at that. Skill set I need to learn. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
That's your top 2. Keep going.
Off the top of my head, for a rotational movement, I do Russian twists a lot.
Yep.
Just because it's so good to add. So we've gone over a balance one essentially. So core stability, then plank, which is overall core. Kind of a full body movement, but mostly just for the core. Rotational, then an anti-rotational, which isn't something I do a lot with people. It's called a Palloff press. So you would put a band or something, or you can use a cable machine as well.
Okay.
It's hard to describe it. You would stand off to the side perpendicular to it. So say, if you're watching me out here, say the bar's right here. I have the band coming off it towards me. I'm standing sideways here.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
gonna get
I've seen
tension
people
in the
doing
band,
this. Yep.
And then I'm going to push it straight out, trying to let my core rotate.
Yes.
I'm going to bring it back in nice and slow. And I would do the other side as well. So that's an anti-rotational.
Oh, okay.
So trying to, resist those twisting and shearing motions, which can hurt people's backs. So building up those
Yeah.
obliques, stuff
We
like
should
that.
try
And then
those. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever done those.
a farmer's carry.
Farmer's care.
Mm.
So either a double arm farmer's carry or a single arm. So you're getting that opposite motion. You really have to resist. You have to stay up straight and then walk it nice and slow, down and back, switch hands to the other side, or you can do it with 2 weights or a trap bar or something like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. I like it.
So
I
just off
just,
the top of my head. Those
yeah,
are the top
I really
5.
like. We did these last week too. Are dead bugs? You had us
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this.
Yeah, dead bugs are great, especially for pelvic floor strength.
Yes, and that leads into the next question. Was someone said just topic they wanted talked about was deep core and pelvic floor.
Yeah. So dead bugs, great. Probably if I had to pick a pelvic floor exercise for everyone to do, especially the ladies, obviously, it'd be dead bug. But any kind of core movement you can think of where you're laying on your back and your knees have to come up off the ground, or your feet and knees have to come up off the ground. That's going to really work that pelvic core in a bent fashion. So if you lay flat on your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the ground, and then you just lift your knees up to your chest, put them back down. That's where I would start if you've never worked pelvic floor before.
Yeah, if it's
and you
damaged
have-
from having a baby or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. If you're coming back from just having a baby, especially a C-section or something like that, start off small like that. Don't start with a dead bug because it's kind of a more advanced
Yeah, we were
movement.
saying it felt full body yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard movement.
I was like, my shoulders hurt for some reason.
Yeah. And the more you do it, the easier it'll become. And then we'll have to do more, or we'll have to add some kind of.
I'm not trying to brag, but you told us to do 8. We did 10.
Yeah, 10 each side.
I was like, hey, 8 seems
Next
easy.
time we'll do 12.
8, I was like, 8 seems easy. And I just did it and I got to 9. I was like, well, I said I was going to do 10. And I was like, these are a lot harder than I thought they were going to be.
Now next time we'll do 12. Now that
I
you told me
know.
that.
See?
That's how my clients always mess that up.
I know. Trying
Like,
to
I think we could go a little
trying to
heavier.
trying to impress our trainer, and we just get
It's music to my ears. When someone says, I think we could go a little heavier. I'm like, that's fantastic. It means we're making progress.
yes, love it.
Okay, so deep core, pelvic floor.
Yeah, anything else on that? Like you would.
Yeah, and as far as like deep core stuff goes, again, like anything, a lot of movements where I won't say all of them, but a lot of movements where you're raising your legs up off the ground are going to hit that deep core, that deep stretch. So like a leg raise. And you can get even more advanced with that. You can do like a V up where you're coming straight out, legs straight out, and you try to reach up in the middle.
Those hurt.
Yeah.
Those are tough. And you can do that with a medicine ball too to increase intensity.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're going to hit that. You're going to hit your core on that.
Yeah.
So
Shredded.
I was
do
going to
that
say,
deep stretch.
when
really
I
stretch those muscle
was
fibers
postpartum,
out.
I researched a ton of pelvic floor stuff. And one of the things that it also said to start with, like how you said that, and then also breath work, really focusing on like thinking
That
about
diaphragm
bringing
control.
it back in. And then like the reverse of, well, bird dogs are really good for pelvic floor in like deep core,
Yep.
they say. And then bear
holds.
Bear holds,
Yeah.
because if you work on your breath work while you're doing them or whatever.
Those things hurt. We did those in hot yoga last week, and then we had to do like bear hold twists.
See,
3 times
there's
through
always
for
a
like
variation
yeah.
you can throw in there. And you're like, once you think the bear hold's getting easy, then you're like, oh, now we twist. And you're
Yeah.
like,
Now hold one weight up with one arm and twist. And you're like,
now do it with no hands. And you're like, wait a second.
Yeah. That's good.
okay. I think that those were all of the questions.
I saw there was a question where it said, no question, but you're just a babe. And I was like, I don't know this person, but thank you.
Yeah, JC asked it on.
I asked it on my personal and on the podcast.
So that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
They weren't
My
calling you a babe, Adam.
Although
Sorry.
JC did say, we'll just tell him that was for him.
Yeah.
Just fishing for compliments now.
You're a babe.
Thanks.
Yes. I'm. Olivia, are you hitting on our guest?
Maybe.
Okay, do you have any? You live with him, so do you have any questions to ask our guest?
Not off the top of my head either.
Okay, I had just like a very few things. How do you stay consistent? I know this is your job to train people and you're in the gym already every day. But what's your how do you just stay consistent with a routine?
I think you just have to have just discipline right away.
Yeah.
An accountability partner would be huge starting off. So you guys have each other. Like if Olivia's at the gym,
I'm more apt
likely
to show
come.
up.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Same thing with like a personal trainer. When people come and they, obviously they pay me, so there's
Right.
a financial there, but that is still accountability. But they know that if we set up a time, that I'm going to be there, and then if they don't show up, I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to be like, hey,
I'm going to be charging you and
Yeah.
and I try to be lenient with people because I
Right.
know
Yeah,
things
yeah.
happen. But
yeah. I think having, like you said, that set time, scheduled.
just make time for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be crazy. Like lately, I've been busier as the year has started because that's kind of our busy time of the year. I've had less time to work out. My workouts, just like the strength portion, only takes 30 or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
For me, where I used to really take my time. Do 2 or 3 hour workout. It doesn't. If you're doing a 2 or 3 hour workout,
You're doing too much.
yeah, you need to put the phone down. You need to shut your mouth. You
Yeah.
just need to get to work.
Yeah. I had a membership at Snap, and I just like to people watch sometimes. And
Yeah,
there
that's
was always the boys over at the lifting stations, and they would sit on their phones for 15 minutes in between reps. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's the
I don't think you need that much time for recovery, bro.
that's like the stereotype of a power lifter specifically, which
Yeah.
is what I was training for.
Yep.
It's like they do one really hard rep and then they pull their sleeping bag out and they take a 30-minute nap before they hit their next one. Gotta
I'm sure
maximize recovery.
there's some good TikToks
Yeah.
about that, I bet. Okay. I told you I was going to be doing 75 hard.
Atta girl.
Do you guys think that I will be able to complete it
Yes.
in the set 75 days?
Yes.
Yeah, because you like a challenge.
That's true. I
and
do
now you
like a
just
good
told
challenge.
your entire audience if
Yeah.
you don't,
Yeah.
You're held
we
accountable.
will ridicule you.
Yes.
And, no, just,
I'll be shamed.
Shame upon you, upon your family.
I'm actually really excited to do it. I've talked about it for years, how
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to do, and I just have never done it. So,
We believe in you.
yeah,
yes,
you can do it.
I'll be at the
fine.
gym.
And if you need accountability, just call us.
I will say I am the type that I have to have a buddy. I don't know if like people listening, if you're trying to get into the gym, like find someone to go to.
Yeah.
I think I'm so social.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that,
especially
like,
if you're social.
I like it for that aspect. Like I know some people view workouts as like their time, like they're focusing. They're like maybe they put in a podcast, maybe they're listening to an ebook, something where I'm like, "Oh, this is like fun, social." Like, yeah.
And that's great. I mean, we have programs where, especially the elderly people come in.
Yeah.
But they get their workout in and then it's just social hour.
Chat,
and it's nice
yeah.
to talk. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's whatever motivates you to get out there and be disciplined. But at some points you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, I do it still where middle of the day, I'm like, the gym is literally where I work. And I'm like, I don't really want to work out, but I'm still going to do it because that's where the discipline comes in.
Anyway.
So if you're relying on motivation all the time, it's going to fail at some point.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of motivation.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different. I know we were asking about actual workouts, but like, what is your favorite part about your job? Just like what you do?
Yeah, just the fact that it's different every day. Like I tell, me and my coworkers talk about it all the time, especially me and Jake, that because he had gone to try a desk job at one point.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, I don't know what I was thinking. And if you know Jake, that dude's not gonna be able to just sit at a computer all day.
Right.
And that's kind of how I am. Like there are points where I have to sit at the computer and I have to do my programming and respond to emails, but an hour later, 30 minutes later, I have a client that I have to work out with, and their workout is different than the one we did 2 days prior.
Yeah.
So it's always switching, and I can always adapt. I'm always getting to meet new people, build relationships with people, which has probably been the best part. The relationships I've built with my clients that have remained with me. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I just had in one of our, it almost made me tear up, honestly. But it was like one of my younger clients, him and his brother have been coming to see me, and we ask them to write testimonies once in a while, just optional, for our newsletter that we started sending out. And he said that I'm like one of his best friends. I was like, oh,
Stop.
That's awesome.
That's like such a cool like testimony for you, like to be able to be influencing, like especially younger.
Yeah. And like from a biblical standpoint too, the position I have where I can pour into these, especially the young men's lives like that. I just have such a heart for them and those guys. And they're just such good kids.
I love that.
Being able to try and be a positive role model for them. So
very special.
I also love that your job has flexibility. Like, I love that Olivia and Grant can pop in.
That's one of my
and you can
favorite
hang
things.
on to Grant. And it's like the cutest thing. You guys, we should take a video of it. Like,
Yeah.
Adam will be like yelling out, like, counting it down for people and reps and stuff. And Grant's just like chilling in his arms, watching everybody. It's
watching our
so
first responders.
cute.
And now he's one of the guys too.
Yeah.
So after the workout, he gives them all a fist. He doesn't know how to yet,
Adam
but he
holds him up, but
he
he
loves
likes
it.
it.
Once they give him a fist bump, he just gets the biggest smile on his face.
I know. I just love that for you guys. I think
Yeah,
that
me
is
too.
like, I think any job that offers the flexibility to like have your family there sometimes, so cool.
Yeah, it's super. It's just I couldn't ask for a better job, honestly. Doing what I love to do. I have the flexibility. My family can come see me whenever, and it's like not I'm not doing it to get rich,
Right.
but I mean it takes care of us, and I couldn't. It's been awesome. It's been a blessing.
Olivia pops in and drops off the cheese sticks that,
Yeah,
that Grant likes to chew on.
Get my pre-chewed.
We should make like a reel or a TikTok of our like workout and like show a little behind the scenes of
workout.
Once JC and I go back there,
why
you don't
is
know what we do.
it why is
You're
it a
right.
workout?
That's
I
why-
don't know.
That's why me and Grant always come around the corner.
I know you guys were doing that the other day, and I was sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to work out. Adam's watching.
Yeah, she did say that.
I mean,
That's why
I
I
was
do
in
it.
between reps. Like
Yeah.
we were working out, but I was like, oh my, I swear he keeps coming around the corner every time I'm like sitting on
She's like-
break.
People think I don't know. I know. I see all that goes on in that gym.
No, the other day, JC and I were like, were we on set 3 or 4? And we couldn't remember. And so we're like, all right, we're either going to get 4 and this is going to be 4, or we're going to overachieve and we're going to be 5 because we're not just doing 3.
Yeah,
We told us to do 4 sets.
We're not going to
So-
be weak.
Yeah.
See, I'm already rubbing off. It's good.
Anyways.
Yes. Well, thanks for coming on. Is
Yeah.
there anything else you want to talk about? Like fun things, workout things?
If you're in the Aberdeen area, you need a trainer, come see me at the Human Performance Center.
Yes, he has a new lunch rush on
just
Tuesday and
started that.
Thursdays, right?
Yep. Got some
at
people
lunchtime.
trickling into it. Yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays at the noon hour. It's a 30-minute workout with a 15-minute guided stretch afterwards, which is optional.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's art. It's like written on the board, so you can just come and bang it out.
It's always led by me. Like, so
Yeah.
I'll be there teaching
cool.
everyone how to do things if they're not familiar or
Yeah.
if they're new that month. But yeah, $50 a month. Come and see it.
That's awesome. I like it. Aberdeen peeps, you heard it. Go work out
Aberdeen
over
and
lunch.
surrounding area.
Yeah, that's true. Because so many people like work
Or
in
if you're a young
Aberdeen that, yeah.
If you're a young athlete and want to come train with us.
I always see so many of my seniors in there, like past
Yeah.
seniors or stuff. Like,
Yeah, like the Frederick girls that were in there the other day. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
It's good stuff. Well, thank you, Adam. We appreciate you.
You're welcome, Olivia.
I'm not gonna be like, thanks, Dave.
First name basis.
We're in a fight. It honestly is so weird when we call each other by our names sometimes, because most of the time it's like,
The only time I'm calling you Olivia is when I'm trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
because otherwise it's like,
Or if you're in
babe,
trouble.
or sometimes if we're like with Grant, we're like, oh, where's Daddy or where's Mommy?
I'm like, where's Olivia? Where is she? Where's Mrs. White?
He's gonna be like, what does Dad say? The other day we were at like a little small town. Well, we were in Chelsea, South Dakota for prime rib, and they always just like take your name to write on the tab. And Cole goes, Cole and JC, and the lady goes, Nicole and Jason.
Yep. You got it.
So now we've been doing this weird thing where we like call each other Nicole and Jason.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
He came over
He
the
calls
other
you
day.
Jason and
Yeah,
you call him Nicole.
like he gave me a big hug, and I was like, Nicole, knock it off. And he was like, come here, Jason.
People are going to be like, what is...
I know.
What's
It
going on?
would sound so, you'd be like, what are they doing?
That's
But yeah.
funny.
So, first name basis.
Is on the topic of the Olivia thing. When I call her that in front of my niece and nephew on Tanner's
yeah.
side, so I've called her Ollie in front of my family.
Yeah.
She hates it.
He made up
so
that
they
nickname
know
for me.
they know her as Aunt Ollie.
Yes.
So when I say like Liv or Olivia, they're like
Who's that?
Who is this woman?
like her right
Yeah.
right here.
Or like at Christmas, they were helping distribute the gifts, and Tammy's like, this one's to Olivia, and Corby stood there and went,
She's-
and I was like, it's
she's-
me.
Yeah, she's like
I'm
trying to guess.
Olivia.
She's like, and they're like, no. She's like, oh no, I didn't think so either.
She was like, does that mean me?
Corby's
Do I
like,
get it?
no one here by that name. This gift is now mine. I'm commandeering it.
Corby's sort of like Olivia. Oh, hi, Blue.
That scared me. I was like, you just opened the door. Blue.
Blue's
Well,
going to sign us
Blue
out.
wanted to get some camera time.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. We hope that you enjoyed having Adam on. And, new year, get in the gym,
Yes. You've
get
got
get some
this.
healthier habits. Healthier habits are always good. So, oh my gosh, Blue's going to
That sounds sweet.
here's some little puppy ASMRs. Oh my gosh, so cute.
Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.